everyone, it's Angie and I'm coming today to do a quick tutorial on the wired heart that I shared on Instagram and Facebook and on my YouTube. It got a lot of likes and interest, so I thought I'd go ahead and share this with you. I will say you have to be comfortable using resin because this is the only way you're going to get the look that I created. I was trying to go through my head on how you could create this without using resin for the ones who aren't comfortable with using resin, and I totally understand why. I did try something else and it kind of gave it that look, but again, resin is always my first choice when I'm looking for something like glass. But you do you. You do what you're comfortable with. I am very safe using resin. I feel comfortable as long as I'm wearing gloves, a mask, and I have my fan going on right now with my window open. I also have a special fan that takes the air away from you, pulls it away from you. You can do a respirator, glasses, whatever you feel comfortable with, because we are going to be using some chemicals for tarnishing. Again, you do you. You do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm sure there's other ways to get this kind of look, but this is what I just came up with really quick because my time is short. But I do like doing these little quick tutorials, so I thought I'd go ahead and do this. So I don't have the heart anymore. That actually went off in the mail. But here is, let me make sure I'm in frame here. Here is the sample that I did without using resin. So it has like some texture on it, and you know, it has that shininess. This is just something really quick what I came up with, you guys, because I know, like I said, for those who don't like the resin. So here's the one without resin, and I'll explain this really quick. I'm not going to make this one, but I'll just explain really quick how I got this look for this one. So the one we're going to make is the heart that you saw online. Okay, so I'll start off with what you will need. You're going to need, this is what I use, you guys. And the way I came up with this, like I said, you ask how I come up with these ideas. I'm not really coming up with ideas per se. I'm just looking at making embellishments or some fun layer texture things to add to journals or on covers, or just even to other art projects, fabric projects, mixed media projects, and whatnot. And I have a lot of this mesh screen wire. I'll pull this out here. And you get a ton of it, you guys. But I did find online, I will post the link to the one I found. This is a 1/4 by 1/4, but this is a huge roll, and it was like $20. I've had it forever. I use them to make like little ladders, and what I mean by little ladders is this is the journal I'm working on right now. And so I had pulled this out and I cut a piece for my little ladders that I make. So this is a journal I'm working on right now, and it's a little shadow box again, and I'm almost done. I just got to put some pages in there and work on the remaining pages here. So okay, so let's get back to the wire. Anyway, so you can find the wire. Like I said, this isn't a roll, and it's galvanized. You want the galvanized or ungalvanized, whatever you can find. This ended up tarnishing even though it's galvanized. So yeah, so this was the roll. But you don't need the giant roll because you're just going to be using bits of this. Okay, so you're going to need the wire. Next, you're going to need either a tin snip or something to cut your wire with. Side snips, and I live 30 miles from the closest town, and we just got a Harbor Freight. And if you ever go to Harbor Freight, they actually have some really cool stuff for us artists. You know, we don't always have to go to Home Depot or go to Hobby Lobby for our supplies. So these are side cutters, and they're actually really nice. I think they were like $7. And these will be for like my metal work. I obviously have really nice pliers and whatnot for my jewelry. But these are like some needle nose, fine tip pliers that I just got at Harbor Freight. And yeah, so I found some really cool stuff there. I've had these forever. These are my tin snips, and so you'll need something like these. These work perfect, or something to cut your mesh with. You're going to need, sorry guys, a pair of gloves to work with your wire if you're not comfortable, because we don't want to cut. And then you're going to need some plastic gloves and your mask and protective eyewear for your resin. A black light. So this is a flashlight style, and then I also have one of these. So this is another version of a ultraviolet light. And then here's what you need, you guys. This is called resin, UV resin dip. So right now this is contained in this container, so you know it doesn't have a very wide mouth, so however wide your mouth is what we're going to be able to dip in this. And you know, the same for depth. I haven't used much of this yet. This is I got this online. I will put the link down below. This is really cool stuff. I also have resin putty. I haven't worked with that yet. I know, I'm a resin everything. But yeah, so this does have an odor to it. Again, precaution that we're going to be dipping. They make dipped flowers with this. So I thought I pulled this out with the mesh screen and created what you saw online. Okay, and then you're going to need, these is called aluminum black and perma blue. These are to bring back the life into tarnished barrels, and you can find these online as well. I'll have the link below. You can use this for rusting or tarnishing. Let's see, where'd my little rag go? And then let's see what else. Oh, some sandpaper for sanding sharp edges. This is also patina black. This will work well on this metal too. Sorry. Some rusty wire. And let's see, we'll bring this out. Swell that one with that. And then some bits to decorate your project with. All right, I think I mentioned everything you need. If I didn't, I'm sorry, and I will mention it. So so I cut a big strip off, and if you don't feel if you feel uncomfortable, get your gloves. And then I just grab my tin snips, and I didn't cut this little part for you so you could see me cut it. It's got a couple more snips to do, and it's really easy to cut. Snap. Okay, put that away. And then we're just going to cut off a piece, enough for the heart to create a heart. Sorry about that. I'm just cutting off a piece to create a heart. I think that's probably good enough. And then you're going to go ahead and grab your side snips, put that to the side. And you're going to have to be careful and be wearing your gloves and your eye protected wear, because we know metal flies. I usually do this in a box. But just be careful. And then usually, you know, when I'm doing it here, when I'm not doing the box, I'll just go ahead. While I'm doing a snipping, sorry. I'll just point it down. And then snip them off. You want to make sure you're not snipping off anything else. So hopefully this doesn't fly up in your face when I do this. Actually, that flew, see? So you don't want that, because you don't want these little shards on the ground and around your workspace, because they are sharp. So you're going to you're going to side snip both sides. So however you do that, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to give it a little sanding, because I still have some spurs on the end there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut around these, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So grab your mask, your little dust mask, open a window, because we are going to do a little sanding, and it's never good to sand anything without some ventilation and face protection. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on. Okay, so sorry if I sound a little bit muffled. It might help the breathing that you hear within my phone. I haven't got a mic yet, so we're working on that. Okay, so then all I do is I just sand and get all the sharp little edges, and want to be careful, just run your finger there. This is a pretty rough grit sandpaper. I like the blocks. And then next you're going to want your gloves and your tarnish. If this is not necessary, you don't have to. Sometimes I'll just run this to get some of the galvanized off of it, so it'll tarnish a little bit easier as well. And that's what you can do with metal that's galvanized or it's hard to rust or patina. You can go ahead and give it a really good sanding. So this is easier this way. Okay. All right. Take this little rag here, get the dust off of it. Then you're going to want an old brush. This is clean. It looks pretty dingy, but it's good to go. I'm going to do the aluminum black on this. Grab your gloves as well. Anytime you're using chemical or resin, go ahead and grab your gloves. I like these gloves. They're not too thick and they're not thin either, and they don't seem to bother my hands as much. And I don't sweat. I don't know about you guys, but when you wear those gloves and you can just like see that your hands through it and it's sweaty. So I'm kind of, anyways. So you'll take your, sometimes I'll just pour a little bit in because you don't want to contaminate you just need like a drip. That's all you need. You don't want to contaminate your solution. So this turns black instantly. So that's all I'm doing is I'm just brushing this on. I'll hold it down here on my mat. These silicone mats are amazing. Okay. You can leave some silver if you want to, or sand it back a little bit if you'd like. So that's all you'll need is that much. Make sure you close that up tight. Then I kind of just blot everything off here. I always wash or wipe off my brush and then put it in some water and then re-wipe again. Okay, before we get to the resin, I'm going to talk about this one that I showed you. So all I did was I took a strip like this, and then I formed a circle, which I'll show you how we're going to form the shape and then wire it. Now, what I did is I took some Versamark or whatever you use to get your embossing powder to stick. And this is the ultra thick embossing powder. It comes in that really tall bottle. And I had this open here. I Versamarked the wire, and then I dipped it in on both sides. And I hit it with the heat gun, and I did that about 5 times to get this texture. So, there you go. Do that about 5 times. And to get the shininess, you want, this is just old packaging. It's pretty stiff. Plastic, you can get any plastic you want, but the stiffer the better because it'll kind of form around the sides. And I just cut the strip and stuck it in there. And it overlapped a little bit over here. I didn't seem to need to glue it. I just used the leftover wire that I used to make the circle and wrapped it around. And I think if you glue it down to your project, it'll be fine. You can use these as frames. You can put stuff in there and maybe put it here like I showed you, and you could put some glossy accents, or I don't know, whatever you want to do with these. But it gave it that shine, that gave it that feel. Oh, and I did use some clear, let's see if I have it right here, some clear high-end top coat, just because it kind of was, I don't know, a little bit not as shiny, so I added this on top of it just to kind of bring that faux resin look. So anyways, we are going to build the heart now, exactly what you saw, but I just wanted to show you that really quick. You guys can experiment. I didn't have enough, I don't have a lot of time to experiment 2 different ways, but I do like to throw that idea out there so that if you're interested in doing that, you can, without having to use the resin. So you're going to need something to form the heart with. You're going to need your wire. We're going to need the resin and then your UV lights. So go ahead and grab those, and then we can get started. Okay, so what I do to make the heart, so I just bring these together, and then I pinch in the middle. Okay. Let's see, I'll go this way. And then I'll take, so you'll see have a V shape. Then you'll take whatever you're going to form to make the round part of the heart. Oops. Just helping you get that nice round shape. So if you didn't see that, sorry, I got a little out of frame. All I did when it was pulled out straight, sorry if I moved that, come around, gently rock it around the wire. You're just getting the shape, basically. And I kind of like mine wonky too. It doesn't, you can do your hearts how you like them. Okay, you'll have these 2 at the bottom here. You'll have an open end. And we're just going to grab your wire. We're going to wire these together right here, these 2 pieces here. Right there, here and here. Okay. I'm just going to fiddle with this a little bit more. And you don't want to fiddle with it too much, bringing it open and closing, because, sorry, excuse me, that's going to weaken your wire. You don't want to do that. Okay, so then you're going to get a piece of wire, and I did share a quick short video on where I get my wire. I finally just did a quick little video since I was grabbing more wire. Anytime I'm at Michael's or Joann's, but sadly Joann's is not going to be no longer, so maybe go get your wire. I was there the other day, and they are starting to discount items, but anyways, you find this in the floral section. I get 30 gauge, 28, 26, and 22 are typically some of the gauges, but I use this non-stop. I mean, this is my to-go one. Okay, so you'll want a wire about that long. I don't know how long that is, a few inches. And it seems long, but I'm going to show you why. Because you're going to want a tail to hold while you're going to dip your resin in. But first, we're going to do a couple wraps. And if you need your pliers to help you grab the wire, grab those, these little neat needle nose pliers. And I just, if you have a hard time and you can't get it through, I always just grab these. Like I said, this wire is so versatile. It's just so easy to work with. I use it, well, you guys see all my work. You will see some form of wire in any form of art that I do. I'm constantly using wire. It's my favorite, especially this one. I've used it for 10 plus years now. Longer than that, 15 years maybe. Just for all kinds of things, not necessarily for art too, but just because it's so easy to tie in a knot and it doesn't break, you know, easy when you twist it. So that's what you'll do after you put it around. Sorry guys. If you put it around a couple times and then twist it, then you'll have a tail like this. Then we're gonna go ahead. I kind of get my lights ready. But you don't want to put it in, you know, you don't want your lights around your resin because it'll cure it. So then all I did is I just opened my jar here. I said this stuff is smelly, so make sure you have your ventilation going, your gloves on, mask, and your eyewear. Okay, so I kind of left the 2 squares open because that's kind of how far. This is what it looks like. It's pretty thick. Now, I think there are recipes out there that you can thicken up your resin. You can go online on YouTube and look that up. I haven't tried it. It's a drip of something. I don't want to say, maybe it's dish soap, but I'm not sure, you guys. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, you want to pull it in, cover it, and then bring it out. And it stays in those little squares. And then I just let it drip off. And if it missed a couple squares, that's okay, you guys. It's not going to be perfect. So I just let it run down. Just a little bit. Okay. Once you're satisfied, maybe I'll grab that one. There you go. Caught that one. A little bit, I guess. Okay, we're going to go ahead and light it because you honestly don't want to wait too long because you don't want to lose your resin. And if you have drips, that's kind of cool. You can freeze the drips in motion if you want to, and if not, if you don't like that, you can go ahead and cut them off. Now I did only dip mine once. And the larger the hole, the harder it is for it to grab on. And this will get hot as well, so you're going to feel the metal heat up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to bring this up to show you close up. But I'm going to go ahead and put it under the other lamp, and I'm going to cure it for at least, you know, 4 or 5 minutes. Just to make sure everything's cured. And then we'll go ahead and decorate it really quick on our piece. Like I said, this cut's really easy. I use my Tim Holtz scissors. Tim Holtz are really very universal, and I just cut off what I'm not liking. So, okay, we'll be right back, you guys, after I show you this up close. So this is where we're at with it. Isn't that cool? Looks like little pieces of stained glass. And I had that, you know, I was thinking also you can get alcohol ink afterwards. Because you can tint these. I just am not going to buy several jars or, you know, colored ones. I just kind of like the see-through. But you could take some alcohol ink probably and paint these and give it like a stained glass kind of look if you wanted red around here. I think that'd be really neat. But yeah, all right guys, I'll be right back. Okay everyone, we're back and here it is all cured up. Look how beautiful that looks. I love the look of it. And this is kind of the knockoff, so you can see the difference. Yeah, I'll put these close up. But they're both shiny and they give a great effect. So nothing against, you know, the one that I created that wasn't with resin. It's just for me, I just really love this kind of glassy look. So we're going to go ahead and create this little make that I shared online. All I did is this is like some really thick cardboard bookboard. I don't know. This was from an old book and I cut it up. This is from the cover. And it was a black cover and I went ahead and just put some paint on it. You can antique it or do what you want. And this is going to be for the top. I thought maybe we'd use a safety pin this time. Or not a safety pin, a paper clip. So I just put that in here. Get your hot glue ready. I did forget that. So make sure you have a hot glue gun. And a sewing machine if you want to sew your pieces together. I sew mine together. So that's going to go up here. And I'm going to run a running stitch down this. And that's where I'm going to go with that so far. I'm going to leave these two aside. But I love adding different textures. That's another thing that I do. And it doesn't really matter what it is, even if it's paper or other kinds of material that I add in my little layers. But I'm going to keep this kind of vintage and organic. So I have some shears, some tulle, this other kind of fabric, and this lace. And then I'm going to do a running stitch down here. And then I'm going to put this one on later. And if you want to go ahead and glue that on as well, you can go ahead and do that. But we'll be right back. Hey everyone, I'm back and we're going to go ahead and finish up this quick little tutorial. I went ahead and all I did was I glued this paper clip with a piece of fabric and then I drilled a hole. I'm just going to do the extra securing with the heart. You don't have to. The super glue probably is just fine, but I feel like, you know, one extra step is okay for me to make sure it's secure. And then, like I said, I didn't do anything extra. All I did was just, like I said, I was going to do a running stitch down there. And then I took a piece. Like I said, this thing is going to be so versatile. I'll probably use it in so many more ways. I just put that on the back there to add more texture. And then we're going to go ahead and hot glue this on here. And then we'll add this. And then I grabbed a few little things, so if we use it, we do. If we don't, we don't. I kind of just start with a small tack of hot glue, and then when I'm ready, I'll go ahead and glue everything else down. But for now, in case I need to move something, you know, it's not permanent until we're finished. So I just want that in place for now. We do have that little drilled hole that I mentioned. And then we're going to take the heart and I'm going to pierce it, the fabric, so I can get the wire through. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to do this. I'm just going to. So find my hole here. Then I'm just going to run my wires through there. This could be a little tricky if these aren't cut flush. Just get that one more time. Okay, perfect. I'm going to bring it through the back, and then all I'm going to do is take some wire pliers, or actually I'm going to take this. So there you go. And then we're going to put a piece of paper back here as well to hide the wire. Okay. You can do whatever you want on the back here. I'm just adding that, tie the wire in to secure it there so it doesn't fall off. And so there you, just gives you another security. We are going to glue this down. I waited for this piece because I kind of puffed it up in the heart that you saw online, because I liked it coming out of the heart a little bit like that. And then I'm going to hot glue just bits and pieces, and then we'll secure it, just get it in place. So oops. And we'll take my trusty hairy, as somebody called it in one of my comments, hot glue gun. This is my little workhorse of a glue gun for sure. I've had it. I even have the new one, but I seem to go back to this one. I have the one with a really tiny tip on it, but I go with this one all the time. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue. Whoops. I kind of scrunch my lace. I like it scrunched. And then you're just gonna start tacking down everything where it's at. I don't put globs of hot glue. I don't love hot glue, but I use it because it's easy. So if I was out of frame, all I did was just add like little tacks of glue places. Even, let's see, I don't know how sturdy, these silicone tips, the glue doesn't stick to them, so it's okay. So we have that so far. And then to end it off, I thought I would get a jump ring. And I'm sure if you know, then you know how to open a jump ring. It's side to side. And if you do not, that's how you do that. I thought I'd put a key as a key to my heart. And then we're just going to just attach this to the bottom. And then you just bring it back the same way. Sometimes if they're not connecting, I'll just put them back and forth till they connect. And then I thought this would look fun too. Let's see, it's this way. There you go, guys. This little mesh wired heart dipped in resin. This cool little, I don't know, long clipboard. I have tutorials on toppers and these little mini clipboards I did a few months ago. I'm using Tracy Fox Digitals. If you want to go check that out, I'm DT for Tracy. Yeah, I'll get a little close up so you guys can see it. It's getting dark here. I'm losing some window light here. Yeah, and here's some finished tags that I made. I thought I'd show you these too. Like I said, if you're interested in my other tutorials, you can go ahead and check those out of my playlist. It's a lady with a dangled crystal. These are some altered tags I made. These are some skins that I made. So I have a tutorial on skins, some more resin, a tutorial called Frame It, how you can frame out odd elements. Here's some layered skin, and this is kind of like a rusty tag that I made. Look at the texture, you guys. I didn't get to show these off. I did put them on Instagram, but I thought I'd show, if you don't have Instagram or don't follow me, please do. But if not, I'll go ahead and show you these awesome tags that I made. And this is the last one. I think everybody's has seen this one. So yeah. So this is just another addition. Like I said, you could use this in so many ways and different shapes, and circles or teardrops, or even make, I don't know, I'm experimenting with shapes, but anyhow, I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate the support. Thank you all for my new subs. It means the world to me. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. You can also email me at angiegarciaart@gmail.com. I do have a website and Instagram, so please follow me there. If you are not a sub, please consider subbing to my channel and my other social medias. That would be greatly appreciated. I will link what I used in this project, probably in the description, if not in the description, in the comments, but I'll try to do both. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.